All right, today we're talking about the Power Pole micro anchor. What it is, how I use it, what I love about it, whether or not it's completely insane to spend $1,000 on something that its sole purpose is to just stab the ground and ask politely for your kayak to stop. And more importantly, is this thing actually worth it for you? Because here's the deal, kayak fishing already lives in a weird place where we're constantly trying to turn our kayaks into boats while insisting they're not boats. And the micro anchor is one of those products that really leans into the identity crisis. In this video, guys, we're gonna do a full breakdown. We're gonna go over how I use the micro anchor here in Southwest Florida, fishing in saltwater, where it shines, where it doesn't, the real pros and cons, including the cost. And by the end of this, hopefully you have a good idea if it's something for you or if you should just immediately click off this video and get a stick and some rope like a normal person. Firing! I didn't know it could actually do this. This is kind of fun. If you've never seen one of these before, the Power Pole micro anchor is basically a push button shallow water anchoring system for kayaks, small skiffs, and even some boats. You simply push a button, spike goes down, and you stop. That's it, that's the whole pitch. Because kayak fishing, especially in saltwater, is a constant battle against the wind, the tide, the current, and your kayak's overwhelming desire to just slowly drift into places that you did not agree to go. Being able to stop without throwing an anchor, tying off a rope, or performing some kind of sailing maneuver mid-cast is actually bigger than you think. I fish saltwater in Southwest Florida, mostly shallow stuff, flats, mangroves, some launch areas, backwaters here and there. And that's kind of the point here. The micro anchor is designed for shallow water. If you're routinely fishing like 15 or 20 feet deep water, go ahead, click off. This ain't your product. It's not a miracle. It will not reach the Earth's mantle. But where I fish, the spike mostly always makes contact. And when it does, it holds. I use it constantly for holding a position when I'm reeling in that big old fish or taking a little hot dog break on the side of the kayak. Even re-rigging when I inevitably throw my expensive lure into the mangroves and I can't concentrate on anything but my shitty knots. Also, waiting at the kayak launch is an extra point of contact. It even acts as like a safety net in case your kayak somehow drifts away. You could just quickly click the button. We'll go into that in a minute. And then also, I have used it countless times to just turn me on a dime if I need to face a different direction or stop myself from going into some collision course with something else. That's one of those things you don't think about until you don't have it. One of the things I just kind of talked about that's underrated about this system is how fast it deploys. Because it's not just convenience all the time, it can be a legitimate clutch. I've had situations where my kayak literally started to drift away while it was at the launch and I was at my truck, and I was able to remotely deploy the anchor and slow it down enough to recover it. Now, was that a heroic moment? No. It was more like, wow, this could have been really stupid, followed by some relief. But still, that's something that a rope and stick setup is just not going to be able to do unless you're extremely good at throwing sticks. All right, let's talk about the thing everyone wants to talk about, the most important thing really in this economy, the price. By the time you buy the anchor, the battery pack, and the spike, you're looking at about $1,000. Yeah, that's a lot. Let's talk about the alternatives. The spike and rope, literally the same spike you could buy for about 80 bucks, and any kind of rope, definitely under 100 bucks. Anchor system with rope, even less, and then gravity is still free as of right now. This is not gonna make you magically catch more fish. It's not gonna fix all your bad decisions either, and it certainly will not stop your friends from roasting you for how much you spent on it. But what it does give you for that money is a complete, instant, integrated system that stops you quickly when you need it. And that is a valued proposition in my opinion. Build quality wise, the system is pretty rugged. Now, don't go dropping it off a building, but it's tough. The spike itself feels solid, doesn't flex too much, doesn't feel brittle, it does what it's supposed to do. The battery pack looks like something you'd pull off the back of your power tool, which is fine, except it costs significantly more than that power tool. I don't know why. that battery pack has to cost so much compared to like the one on your DeWalt. That part hurts a little emotionally, as you can tell, but functionally it works and it's very clean. Like you can run it with wires. I've seen it. I have the kit to do wiring to your battery system, but I kind of like it just being like its own little contained thing. Mounting is pretty straightforward. There's 4 bolts that hold the bracket, the mounting bracket, to your kayak. And then there's a guide pin, I guess you could call it, that goes through the unit and the mounting bracket that holds it all together on your kayak so that you can take it off and not have to remove those 4 bolts every time. But that's it. Some kayaks will need a mounting plate, some may not. My Titan X didn't need a mounting plate, my Hammer did, so that's an additional expense you might have to consider. And when you're done for the day, removing it is super simple. You just pull the guide pin out. I usually replace the guide pin back onto the bracket, and then I take the whole unit, battery, and I put it in the truck. Power pole or the spike I will lay inside the kayak and make sure that it doesn't final destination somebody when I'm driving down the road. But you definitely don't want to leave that on the back of your kayak when you're doing 50 down the road. I don't know if it's that trustworthy of a bracket. I also don't really trust people or parking lots, and definitely Florida potholes. Maintenance is surprisingly pretty simple. This is from the factory. They said just take some water, fresh water, and gently pour it down the top hole and out the bottom. Let it drain out the bottom. That's it. You don't need any pressure. It's just kind of rinse the grit and obviously for me the salt off of the little rollers inside that thing. Battery charge is fairly quick in my experience. It lasts all day. Now mine's been used a lot over the years, and it only seems to about charge up to like 90% nowadays. But I never run out of power, which tells me either the battery is still solid or that 10% is just emotional damage. One of the biggest reasons I'm comfortable recommending this product from PowerPole is their customer service. I bought mine used with my Titan X back in the day. Basically new, but no receipt, and the control board was fried. I think it had something to do with the guy that owned it before me trying to hardwire it to his battery. I don't know for sure though. But I called PowerPole up. I explained the situation. I did not hide anything. I told them, I think it was use your air basically. And I was fully expected to hear, yeah, we can fix it for this price. That's unfortunate. Instead, they offered to fix it for free. I'm lucky enough to live close to their Tampa location, maybe their only location. So I just drove up. They took it in, swapped the controller, the control board, and handed it back to me in minutes. Zero cost. They even offered to, if I would have sent it to them via mail, they were offering to fix it for free. And that's the kind of support that really matters, especially when you're spending this quantity of money. Now, no product is perfect. Let's talk about some of the cons. First and foremost, it's expensive. There's no way around it. Everything about the system is pricey, especially when you compare it to its competitor, the old stick and rope. Also, occasionally the spike overextends and struggles a bit to come back down. Not often, but it does happen. I don't know what happens with that. It was more common on the Titan too. I have not had it happen nearly as much on the Hammer. And then the battery degradation over time is a real thing. That's gonna happen with all batteries, I think. With all that said, and the fact that I got mine used for quite literally a fraction of the cost, this would have been a harder decision for me to put this on my kayak, but I still would have at the end of the day. This would have been something I would have saved up for sure. A little tip and trick for you. When you buy your micro power anchor or your PowerPole micro anchor, you'll get a fob. I think you get 2 of these fobs, and then you get like a fob or 2 that you can stick onto your kayak, which is basically just an up and down button. Get yourself something that you can tie it off with, and then also on your PFD, hopefully you have something that you can kind of put something on. So what I do is I just put this through my little notch right there, put the remote on, go up and over, tie it. Now if I fall off, I can hopefully save my cheeks. The PowerPole micro anchor is an absolute luxury item. But it's a luxury that simplifies kayak fishing, reduces stress, and gives you almost instant control when you need it the most. It's backed by great people, works exactly as advertised, and once you have it, it's really hard to go back or think of using a different option. If you can afford it, I highly recommend it. If you can't, you're not missing out on fishing, just convenience, and that's okay. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions about how it would do on your kayak or your fishery, hopefully I can answer them. If not, maybe somebody else can in the comments. I hope you have a fantastic day. Adios.